Wings of Fire is a series that has run for 3 arcs. At the end of each arc, we have always known that there's a new one on the horizon from the epilogue. In the first arc, the Dragonettes of Destiny were discussing opening a school. In the second one, a mysterious dragon showed up in the desert with 2 sets of wings. However, the most recent arc had no such cliffhanger in the epilogue, but we know that there will be a new arc based off of what Toei is saying. So what direction is the Wings of Fire universe heading in? Before we get started, if you are new to this channel, please think about subscribing. I regularly post both Wings of Fire and WordCats content so you'll never be bored. And to my current subscribers, thank you so much for supporting me. I wouldn't have gotten here without y'all. My first idea for a new arc comes from the fact that while Flames of Hope had no cliffhanger, another more recent novel did. This novel then tied into the main series. It's pretty obvious which one I'm talking about, it's Dragon Slayer. Dragon Slayer seems like a fairly obvious jumping off point for a new arc. It left off on a cliffhanger, that being the indestructible lord learning of the existence of Ren, a girl who can talk to dragons. Given what is happening in the main timeline, it would be interesting to see how Scavenger Society is reacting right now. Are there still conflicts with the dragons? Will Scavengers want to be Dragon Slayer still? What will the indestructible lord do? And what place does Ren have in this new society where dragons and humans are on the same level? At least, supposedly. I don't think that this could be stretched out into a full main arc. Not a lot of people are interested in reading about Scavengers. This is a dragon book series, but it could work fairly well as a trilogy. My next arc 4 idea comes directly from Toei. The next arc may be a time skip from the current arc. The 3 arcs of Wings of Fire that we've had so far actually take place in less than 2 years, so I think it would be nice to see a new time in history. The dragons featured in this arc will be dragons we know already, just grown up. Toei said that she was interested in using Peacemaker, Prince Cliff, Princess Akle, and Bumblebee. The age range might not match up well in my opinion, but I can see them all going to Jade Mountain Academy together and having a great, or not so great time. However, we don't just have to rely on Toei's word for the new arc. Using the power statistics, we can try and figure out who the protagonists of Arc 4 will really be. No dragons of the same gender and tribe have been used in the main series books before, so we just need to find the dragon tribe and gender combinations that have not been used before in the main series. That leaves us with female Mudwing, male Rainwing, male Skywing, male Leafwing, and male Hivewing. That's a lot of dudes. It's unlikely we will get a 4/5 male arc, though, as all previous arcs have had at least 2/5 female POVs. If it were to be that, I could see the lineup being Sora, Jambu or Pineapple, Sky, Grayling, and I don't know any male Hivewings who Toei would be interested in, maybe Bombardier if she wanted to write an irredeemable a-hole. That's just assuming these would be dragons we know though. It's more likely that she will use all new dragons if it's set in the far future or far past, which I can see her doing as, once again, we've been stuck in the same time period for so long. Or she could go all out on villains and anti-heroes and morally gray characters. A series Toei helped work on previously, Spirit Animals, actually had a few books from the villain's POV, and I could see her taking that idea and applying it to Wings of Fire. The dragons she would use for that would be Sora, Chameleon, Vermilion, Hawthorne, and your pick and choice of any male Hivewing, because there are so many of them who are likely evil. Given the success of Darkstalker and Prisoner, 2 books from the villain's point of view, I could easily see Toei decide to make an arc like this. It might not be fully connected though. It may end up as an anthology with a through line, such as the involvement of Scavengers or a big bad who would be handled later. It is possible that the next thing released in Wings of Fire might not be a main series book, but instead a Winglets. Toei has a lot of Winglet ideas that she has stated publicly that she wants to do. One of the largest examples which I've heard circulate through the Wings of Fire fandom since forever is a possible Winglets novel about Thorn and Stonemover's romance. According to Biohazardia, who has transcribed an interview she did with Toei, Toei said that she's already written out the story and is looking for opportunities to do something with it through her editor. Toei has also stated that she would like to do a Winglet taking place in a rainforest during modern times. It would specifically take place between books 4 and 5, where Glory is getting used to ruling over the 2 tribes so soon after becoming queen. It would likely include assassination attempts and other conflicts. Just like the Thorn Mover one, Toei says she's the idea perfectly sorted out in her head about what to do and even scenes. The problem with this idea being written is just time. I'm not sure whether a hypothetical Glory novella would work for me. For one, we've already gotten a novel around her, so the protagonist would have to be different. I'm thinking Jambu or Pineapple so we can see the relationship some more. Secondly, the timeline just doesn't work out in my head. I'm not sure how to describe it, but it just doesn't fit. Toei also wants to make some standalone novels set on Pantala. Currently, Pantala doesn't have any novellas set there, so I'd be interested. She says one of her ideas is what happened during the Tree Wars, which would be a legend. In this legend, there will likely be 3 POVs like previous legends. It would be great if each POV was from a different tribe, as Pantala only has 3 tribes, and seeing all their perspectives would be great. Maybe the first protagonist could be young Scarab, who's close to lost at the time. The second one would obviously be Hawthorne. The final one would be Silkwing. The Silkwing would be either a royal or a flame silk, maybe even both, and would likely rebel against the new Highwing rule. She also wants to do a novella exploring what Clearsight did after arriving in Pantala. We know that she managed to teach all the dragons common, but there are still a lot of unknowns such as what means did she use. Fanwings have long assumed that it was peaceful, but Tui is a running theme of the victors telling the stories. It is possible that she used a bit of violence to convince other dragons to learn common, or maybe she used her future sight to take advantage of situations. Tui is another historical event idea, this being Grandor's reign. We know very little about Raiming history, and it seems mysterious and awesome as Grandor hinted that Raimings using their venom for more than just games happened in the past, and possibly they were being threatened. I'm curious about what they had to use their venom for. Maybe it was a previous invasion attempt by the Nightwings? Also, why did they change and become lazy? There's a lot of questions needing to be answered about Raimings, so I for one hope this book comes to fruition. Those are all the possibilities of what Wings of Fire arcs, legends, and novellas may look like. Which one is your favorite? Comment down below. If you liked this video, feel free to subscribe. I make Wings of Fire and WordCats videos pretty often, and your support would mean a lot to me. And to those who've already subscribed, thank you for your continued support. I wouldn't have gotten here without y'all. Peace out.